Shalom family, trendsetter. Now before I continue, I want to make a disclaimer. The views expressed in this video is totally my views, okay? I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I'm going to present some things in this video, something for y'all to think about. Now incidentally, I'm driving, so you will hear some noise in the background. Now, what I've noticed in history, a lot of time when you have any civil rights activists or anybody that represent the black community trying to unify the black community, you always have one of our people take them out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times these devils will use one of our people to infiltrate the cause and take us out because they don't want finger pointing at them. Now, I personally believe that Eric Holder and that photo of Shitty Cuz is two different individuals. That's just my belief, because when you look at the photos that you'll see in a little while, they don't look the same. They don't look like the same person. Now, I don't know if this particular photo right here is a rendition of him being younger, and the Eric Holder photo that we see today is, you know, when he's actually older. Just like with Nipsey Hussle, when you see him younger in his younger days, he looked totally different than what you see today. But in my opinion, I don't think they're the same person, because if you look at this guy right here, nose is straighter. You know, his tattoo is similar, but I already told y'all what they can do. They can manipulate certain things. Now, Eric Holder, right, is alleged to be the shooter of Nipsey Hussle. According to what we see on videos, these vague videos that we see, that you really can't see the shit clear, but they saying that he's the shooter. Now, I was watching the video over like a couple of times, and I've seen some things, like for example, the white car. It was a white car that was missing, you know what I'm saying, after the shooting, and there was a Caucasian man that actually came out of that white car, and it appears that he handed something to this dude, if this is him. You know what I'm saying? He handed something to the shooter. And there was also another white, I think it was an Audi vehicle, I think it was an SUV, and you had a woman going back and forth. She was also Caucasian. So I don't know if they were put on the scene as a stage, because I don't believe a lot of the things that we're hearing and seeing is accurate. I believe a lot of stuff is staged. Now, for the record, I do believe that Nipsey Hussle is no longer with us. And I also believe that he was a sacrifice. 33 degree Mason, they like to deal with numerology. And at 33, he was a sacrifice. And I also believe that they are going to let this dude go. Because think about it, family. A couple of days after the shooting, he was on the run. He was saying that he didn't have nothing to do with it, right? Professing his innocent. Then he went to some kind of mental institution or whatever. I guess, I don't know if it's to turn himself in or whatever, but after that, he was, he had, you know what I'm saying, he got representation of a high-power attorney, a former prosecutor, former assistant prosecutor in the OJ case. And you have to ask yourself the question, where did he get that money? Now, I don't know the man's financial situation, but for this guy, another so-called black person, to stir up controversy first, you have a black man that allegedly killed, you know, a individual that was doing a lot for the community, trying to stop gentrification in the black community, trying to unify the gangs, because gangs was put in our community, family, to tear us apart. Y'all don't understand that. The CIA, a lot of these gangs are working with the motherfucking CIA. They're getting paid to cause mayhem, to terrorize our neighborhood. A lot of y'all don't know this shit. And the people that's actually new to the game, y'all just going along to get along, you know, not realizing that y'all are part of something negative. But originally, gang was put in to secure our community, not to, and it was actually put into place. A lot of people became gang members to protect our community from outsiders. Now they have done it where we're terrorizing each other. You know what I'm saying? But to stay on topic, you know, they gave us a black shooter. Then they give us someone black to represent the black shooter, alleged black shooter. What do you think is going to happen when this guy beat the case? Because he's going to beat the case. Believe me. I know the evidence is stacked against him, but let me tell you how these devils work. To further divide us, right? They are going to allow this dude to walk. They're going to allow him to walk. This is why they got that high-power attorney, a former prosecutor. For the former prosecutor, he knows the ins and outs of the law. He know the verbiage of the law, so he's going to know how to defend this guy. And that's one of the reasons why they got a former prosecutor, one that looked like us, because they're going to say, well, this guy's that good, where his defense was that good. Because remember, let me explain something to y'all, right? Remember, OJ allegedly murdered a white woman and got away with it, right? You had white attorneys, as well as black too, right? Defended OJ, and he got away with it. So what they're doing, they're going to give it where the narrative where you're going to have a so-called black man that murdered a pillar of the community, and they're going to let a black man get him off. That's what they're going to do. It's almost like an OJ situation all over again. Okay? So really think about what I'm saying. They're doing this shit because they know once this dude gets off, it's going to be hell. They know it's going to be, the people in LA, they're going to be rioting, and they're going, it's going to be some shit, because at the end of the day, the justice system is behind everything. They only give us justice when it benefits them. You know what I'm saying? So what they're going to do, they're going to use this situation to further divide the people and for us to destroy our community. And I'm hoping and praying that if he does get off and shit, we don't go out there burning down CVS like they did in Baltimore, where I'm from, and shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope they don't do no dumb shit like that. I hope they realize, you know what I'm saying, what they're doing, the psyops that they're presenting out there, because that's exactly what it is. So I believe personally that this dude is going to get off, and the people are going to go into an uproar, start tearing down shit, and this is when they go usher in martial law. This is when they're going to shut the shit down, because they always target LA for some reason. They always fucking with LA because a lot of our people are out there, family, and Chicago and these major black cities. But mark my word, this dude is going to get off. And I believe that it was other people involved. And another thing I want to talk about real quick before I get off of here. His mother, right? Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to his mother. As a matter of fact, after this video, I think I'm going to lay off the Nipsey Hussle story until there's any further development, because I want the brother to be, to rest in peace and shit. But his mother, why did she wear a wedding dress to a fucking funeral? You know what I'm saying? And then she's talking about ancestor worshiping and ashe and all kind of weird shit. I mean, if you really truly watch the funeral procession with her and her husband on stage, and this is some of the shit she was saying. One of the things that struck me when, and I'm a paraphrase because it's not really verbatim, when she got the call from her mother, right, from grandma, about Nipsey getting shot, she kind of, what she said, accepted it, or she was at peace with it, something like that. Who the fuck is at peace hearing your child got murdered or got shot? She was at peace with it. Rewatch this shit, you'll see what I'm talking about. Then she's wearing a wedding dress at a funeral. It's almost like, when you wear black at funeral, represents mourning, separation. When you wear wedding dress, you're celebrating union between someone. In her case, maybe something. Now, I believe she's an Eastern Star. I believe she's a witch. And I believe Nipsey Hussle was a sacrifice. I believe that boy, that young man, well, I'm older than him, but I believe he was born to be sacrificed. 33. And then his sister talk about he's like Jesus Christ. He ain't no Jesus Christ. He ain't raised no dead according to that dumbass religion called Christianity. He ain't walk on water. But what he did, right? What he did was a sacrifice, just like Jesus Christ. So a lot of times, family, they will throw shit out there, and it's for us to read between the line. You know what I'm saying? Symbolically, they're telling you certain things. His sister talked about Nipsey was like Jesus Christ, trying to deify him. The only way I would associate him to being like Jesus Christ, he was basically a sacrifice.